Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding what I believe is truly a very, very important hearing. People all across America have questions about the TARP program. The hearing is entitled, "Is TARP Working for Main Street?" I think clearly most members of Congress think that it ought to. Whether or not it is frankly an open question. Now, when we ask, is TARP working for Main Street, we have to really take a look at what TARP was designed to do. And frankly, that is a difficult question to answer. Because if you look at the congressional, the enabling statute, TARP was told to, number one, protect taxpayers. It was told to provide financial stability to our financial markets. We were supposed to help struggling families in the law, help retirement security, stabilize communities, and the list goes on and on. One can argue there were a lot of different competing goals in TARP, and sometimes when you charge a statute with many things, you charge it with nothing. Now, if the purpose of TARP was to give large financial institutions a capital cushion at a time they vitally needed it, I suppose some people could argue maybe it worked. I don't know. And unlike the chairman, I did not support the statute, although I think it's important that government act. I think there is a legitimate crisis. I think there is much pain within our society. And I'm heartened to hear the comments of our chairman that a lot of the solution lies within our small businesses. I believe many members of Congress believe that ultimately the road to recovery does not lead through the halls of Congress. The road to recovery does not lead through Wall Street. The road to recovery leads through the small businesses of Main Street. And so again, as we question, is the program working for Main Street? One, I think we have to look, how do we judge this? It's frankly difficult, and as a member of the Congressional Oversight Panel for TARP, there continues to be a regrettable level of our lack of transparency within the program, very few metrics of success, very little accountability, and frankly, no articulated plan that the vast majority of Americans, much less the markets, understand. And I say that about both administrations, the current administration and the previous administration. So what we have in some respects is, at least the second tranche of TARP was $350 billion in search of a program. Now we know that the president, as of yesterday, included $750 billion for son of TARP, grandson of TARP, whatever we call it now. And again, we don't have an articulated program. Now, I try not to read too much into one-day swings in the stock market, but clearly, since the administration has come to office, there's been a loss of approximately 15% in the Dow, and I think part of it is because the administration has failed to articulate a plan, which is frankly the same mistake that the previous administration made as well. If we want the best way, again, to get out of this economy is to help empower small businesses. Small businesses employ the majority of Americans. 3 out of 4 new jobs are created by small business. But they need certainty in the market. There's so much capital sitting on the sidelines, but they're waiting to find out, is somebody going to bail me out? Are they going to bail my competitor out? Are they going to bail my customer out? We need some legislative and regulatory certainty. People need to know what the rules are. We can't have a program also that is picking winners and losers. That is not going to help our small business. If TARP gets into the business of saying we want to help the auto industry, but we don't want to help the trucking industry, we don't want to help the software industry, that's picking winners and losers. People are concerned about throwing good money after bad. You know, AIG is now in for their 4th involuntary contribution of taxpayer funds, Citi in for 3, BA 4. GM has now come back 3 different times. So we need a program that will help our small businesses, our struggling families, and where necessary to use federal funds to close down failed financial institutions and launch new ones, but we need to do it in a way that doesn't send the bill to future generations that will decrease their opportunities, their job opportunities, their home ownership opportunities. And Mr. Chairman, I appreciate again you calling this hearing, and I yield back.